What you have heard about discipline is a lie. After starting and running 3 businesses, I found out the hard way that discipline is not the key to success. Despite what many people are saying, discipline is also not the difference between an average guy like you and a millionaire. Discipline is only one part of success and getting results in anything and everything that you want to do. There is a reason why millionaires and highly successful people believe that focus is more important and it beats discipline every time. Guys, discipline gets you started and it can even keep you going, especially when things get tough. But high-level achievers know the importance of focus, so to get 10 times faster and better results, they have systems in place to increase their ability to focus. In this video, I'll reveal the systems and the rules that they use. As a bonus, I'll even reveal the one thing that I learned that you can combine with focus to get even better results. Imagine starting a business, or doing a course, or a sport, or even something like weight training to build muscle. You have the motivation and the discipline to get you started and to keep you going, but then the results end up being slow, and after years of trying, you still suck. This happens to a lot of people, and it's exactly what happened to me and my businesses. I eventually figured out that my problem was focus because I was trying to grow 3 businesses at the same time, while I was also trying to consistently improve myself with courses and self-help and doing everything for my family. I was trying to do way too many things and I was distracted and not focused. It wasn't until I implemented the rules and systems that high-level men use to focus that my business finally skyrocketed. And that was also when my life greatly improved. I don't just use these systems for business. I also use them for anything that I want to get good at. So let's get into the 5 things that the experts do to focus more effectively. Number 1, use complete focus. If I'm working on my number 1 priority that I need to get done, but I'm thinking about the dirt biking trip that I'm going to be doing with my buddies next weekend, then I'm not completely focused. I'm doing one thing, but I'm thinking about another thing. This makes me less productive, less effective, and more likely to make dumb mistakes. People do this all the time without realizing how it affects their ability and speed to get stuff done. You need to learn to do one thing at a time, and you need to learn to only think about that one thing at that time. If your mind wanders away from what you're doing, you need to learn to recognize it and then pull your attention back and then keep it there. Doing this will allow you to get in what they call flow state, which is essential for maximum productivity. I'll have a video about flow state coming very soon, so be sure that you subscribe now. Number 2, do only one thing. Steve Jobs told people to pick their number 1 priority and then designate 3 hours a day to do nothing but that one thing. But doing one thing doesn't mean just doing that one specific thing at that one time. Doing one thing also means having one goal or one big project or one business or one focus at a time. I learned that trying to grow 3 businesses at the same time was a huge mistake. After years of struggling to make them grow, I decided to sell 2 of them, which is when my last business and my income skyrocketed. I was now focused, and my clients were so much happier because now that I was focused, I was providing a much better service. I now pick one thing, I master it or at least get very good at it or even complete it before I start on the next big thing. Guys, if your time and focus are spread out all over many things, you cannot be great at any of them. Number 3, learn to say no to everything. All the top productivity experts and high-level men are saying the exact same thing. To be fully focused, you need to learn to say no. Steve Jobs said, "People think focus means saying yes to the thing that you've got to focus on, but that's not what it means at all. Focus means saying no to the 100 other ideas that there are, and you have to pick carefully." Saying no means 2 things. First, you must learn to say no to anything and everything that is not directly related to the outcome you are trying to achieve at that time. Or, you need to say no to anything that interferes with your priorities, your goals, or your one thing. The second thing is, you need to say no to people like your friends and family and coworkers who want you to do things that waste your time. If your coworker has a problem, let them figure it out themselves. If your buddies want to go for a drink, go to the bar, or watch the game, say no if you have a goal to achieve. Equally as important is that you need to learn to not feel guilty for saying no to anyone. When you say no enough times to the same people, they will eventually stop asking you to do the things that you don't really want to do. This means that you will need to say no less often, which is great. I took a course many years ago from one of the top productivity experts in the world. He's worked with many Fortune 500 guys and billionaires. He gave me a tip that I now live by. Whenever I'm asked to do something, like go to a meeting, or go out for lunch with someone, or go to a movie, or go for beers, I ask myself, do I want to do this thing? And if the answer is not a hell yes, then I say no. I'm not saying that you should never spend time with your family or that you should never go out with your buddies again, because you should. You just need to be sure that you do it correctly, which I'll explain in a minute. Before you start saying no to everything and yes to some things, you need to take a second and determine what your true priorities should be and what gives you the most results. There is a really good method for this called the 80-20 rule, which you can learn about in my other video. The link is in the description. The 80-20 rule helped me determine my priorities, which are my kids and family, my business, and my training in sports. But it also helped me separate and reduce my to-do list. Although I say yes to these 3 things, I know I can't do them all at once, so I have a designated time for each of them so that I can focus on each one fully. Designating a time for your family or for your buddies or for your other priorities will help you not get distracted so you don't get pulled away from your main priority or your main goal. Number 4, eliminate distractions. This is a life changer in so many ways, and it will greatly improve your ability to focus. But it only works if you implement these things immediately. Most people can't focus because they allow too many distractions into their lives. And in today's world, there are way too many things that will grab your attention. In fact, many people are actually addicted to these distractions. Like you and like most people, I used to get sucked into the distraction trap all the time. It was frustrating because I started to realize how much time I was actually wasting on stupid stuff like checking my messages, playing video games, and using social media. I would also get frustrated because just as I was getting into the groove and getting stuff done, someone or something would usually interrupt me. I realized that my willpower was not enough to avoid all the distractions, and it won't be enough for you. I had to make the necessary changes in my environment, otherwise these distractions could happen multiple times a day from many different sources. I now have strategies and rules in place that eliminate 95% of distractions, so they're no longer a problem for me. I determined that to get stuff done, I had to figure out what was pulling my attention away and then find a way to eliminate these distractions. Like most idiots, one of my biggest distractions was my phone. To fix this distraction, I had to put my phone in another room just to keep it far enough away from me that I couldn't grab it. This prevented me from constantly reaching over and picking it up to see if anyone had messaged me. I also turned off all notifications from everyone except for a few people in my life, like my kids, who might need me in an emergency. The way I think of it now is that if it's not an emergency, then it's a distraction. I turned off all ringers, all notification sounds, all pop-ups, and all vibrations from all my apps and all my devices. I even deleted Facebook, Instagram, and some games and apps from my phone because I determined that these tended to distract me. With any apps that could potentially grab my attention and distract me, I even moved them off my home pages so I no longer see them. With some apps, games, and social media, I even put them in a folder within another folder, so it's very difficult to get to them. I also use a separate browser now just for YouTube and for work, and I open it in the incognito mode so that YouTube doesn't know what videos to show me to get my attention. Anything that once distracted me on my computer is now gone. After all of this, I only had one problem left. People. People can and will distract you wherever you are trying to get your work done. Either find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, or close your door and put a sign on the door saying, "Do not disturb, emergencies only." I work from home a lot, so I'll even put noise-canceling headphones on and listen to study music to drown out possible distractions like my kids running around the house or my neighbor's dog barking. I even put a sign on my front door to prevent salespeople and church people from knocking on my door. After making all of these changes and eliminating 95% of distractions, my mind is now clear. I can focus and think a lot better. And I don't have the urge to do stuff like constantly pick up my phone to check my messages. And I even feel like I have a lot more time now, which is an amazing feeling. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a message in the comment below to let us know what your distractions are and if you have any other good ideas on how to eliminate them. Number 5, delegate and outsource. It's said that the average American wastes over 60 hours a month doing things like cooking, cleaning, feeding the dog, grocery shopping, mowing the lawn, doing laundry, and so many more things. These are distractions that can interfere with your ability to focus on your goals, slow your progress, get in the way of things that you want to do, and even cost you a lot of money, which I'll explain in a minute. So, look at each of these distractions, determine what is non-essential, and then eliminate as many as possible. With all the things left over that you must do, like grocery shopping, cooking, or laundry, you need to determine if you can minimize them. This means cutting the grass twice a month instead of twice a week, or doing laundry every 2 weeks instead of once a week, or grocery shopping twice a month instead of once a week. And then once you have minimized them, you need to try to outsource all of them to someone else at a cost below your hourly value. As an example, if all the chores and things that I need to do take up 40 hours a month, but I've determined that in those same 40 hours, I could make $2,000 working, then it makes sense for me to pay someone $500 a month to do these chores so that I can make an extra $1,500 a month working. If you want to improve your life, it makes more sense to eliminate the useless chores so that you can focus on your main priorities and make more money with the extra 40 hours that you save. If you have a job, you might be able to work more hours and then pay someone a third of what you make for those extra hours that you've worked. You can even ask for free help. Ask family members to do some chores or tasks around the house for you. Tell them that you're swamped, or ask them to make extra food for you when they cook for themselves, or ask them to pick up some extra groceries for you when they go grocery shopping. And if your neighbor or your wife doesn't like your long grass because now you only cut it twice a month, tell them to cut it themselves. So, what's better than focus? Focus is pretty damn good on its own, but I learned that if you combine focus and discipline with expert training, you will become super effective, get the fastest results possible, and you will have far greater success. Expert training and knowledge can 10 times your results compared to someone who tries to learn on their own. Expert training and taking courses can also eliminate a lot of the mistakes and prevent a lot of wasted time so that you can focus on your main priority. But don't get me wrong, discipline is still very important. Discipline can be used to keep all the distractions away so that you can stay focused. Discipline can keep you following these rules and systems without getting sucked back into the distraction trap. Discipline can get you off your ass when you don't have the motivation to get started, and it can keep you going when you want to quit. But discipline is like a muscle. It needs to be grown, and at first, and for most people, it's weak. So to build your discipline, you need to start doing harder things more regularly. One of the best methods to help you build your discipline and to help you get started on anything is something called the 2-minute rule, which you can see here.